Grandma caught me kissing him. What she did next changed everything. Gay love story. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Before we jump into today's story, we have one small favor to ask. If you enjoy emotional gay love stories filled with romance, unexpected twists, and unforgettable moments, please take a second to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. It's completely free, and every subscription helps us continue bringing you more heartfelt stories you'll love. We'd also love to know where you're watching from. Leave your city or country in the comments below and say hello. We enjoy hearing from viewers all around the world. Thank you so much for your support. Now let's get started with today's story. If my grandmother figures out Adrian is my boyfriend, I am blaming you, Liam Miller said, gripping the steering wheel as if Interstate 95 had personally challenged him to a duel. Adrian Bennett turned from the passenger window with the patient expression of a man who had already listened to 17 versions of the same panic speech during the last 40 miles. Interesting strategy, considering you're the one dating me. Quietly dating you. We've been together 6 months. 6 extremely quiet months. Adrian smiled, and Liam immediately regretted looking at him. That smile was dangerous. Not dangerous in any reasonable sense, obviously. Adrian wasn't dangerous. Adrian rescued spiders with drinking glasses and apologized when he bumped into furniture. But he had this warm, crooked smile that made Liam forget basic survival skills, including breathing and remembering why bringing his boyfriend to Grandma Rose's 73rd birthday had seemed like a remotely intelligent idea. The old farmhouse appeared beyond a line of maple trees, white siding glowing beneath the late afternoon sun, its porch crowded with flower pots. Grandma insisted were thriving despite considerable evidence to the contrary. Liam's stomach tightened. Okay, rules. Adrian groaned. There are rules. 3. Of course there are. Liam raised one finger. Don't call me babe. I rarely call you babe. You called me babe. At the gas station. You dropped your wallet into a trash can. That situation required emotional support. A second finger. Don't mention Chicago. Adrian's eyebrows rose. The concert. Grandma thinks I went alone. You sent her a picture with my arm around you. Liam nearly missed the driveway. My face wasn't visible, Adrian added. That is not comforting. Third finger. And absolutely no holding hands. Adrian stared at him. So basically, I'm entering witness protection. Liam parked and dropped his forehead against the steering wheel. I'm serious. The teasing disappeared from Adrian's face. I know. That somehow made Liam feel worse. He turned toward him. Adrian was watching quietly, blue eyes soft, one hand resting between them on the center console. Liam wanted to cover that hand with his own. Instead, he reached for the keys. Coward, his brain supplied helpfully. Fantastic. Even his internal monologue had turned against him. I'm not ashamed of you, Liam said. Adrian's expression shifted, almost too quickly to catch. I didn't say you were. You were thinking it. I was thinking your grandmother's birthday cake better be worth pretending I'm your extremely handsome coworker. Liam laughed despite himself. You're impossible. And extremely handsome. Debatable. 6 months, Liam. Adrian opened his door. You've had plenty of time to debate it. The front porch creaked beneath their shoes. Liam had climbed those steps thousands of times as a kid, usually carrying scraped knees, bad report cards, or some crisis Grandma Rose could solve with grilled cheese. This should have felt safe. Instead, his heartbeat was somewhere near his throat. Adrian stood beside him, close enough that their sleeves brushed. Just fabric against fabric. Barely anything. Liam still moved half an inch away. He hated himself for doing it. Before he could knock, the door swung open. Grandma Rose stood there in jeans, a pale blue cardigan, and the same silver-framed glasses she'd worn since Liam was 12. Her white hair was pinned loosely behind her head, and her sharp green eyes moved from Liam to Adrian. Liam summoned his most innocent smile. Happy birthday. Grandma, you're late. By 4 minutes. Late is late. Then she ignored him completely and looked at Adrian. Not glanced. Looked. Adrian offered his hand. Mrs. Miller, I'm, Grandma Rose smiled. So, she said, you're Adrian. Liam stopped breathing. Adrian's hand remained suspended between them. Grandma Rose's smile widened slightly. And Liam had one clear, terrifying thought. He had never told her Adrian's name. For 3 full seconds, Liam forgot every word in the English language except Adrian. which was unfortunate because Adrian was currently standing beside him looking equally confused. Grandma Rose finally took Adrian's suspended hand and shook it warmly. "Come inside before the mosquitoes decide your dinner." Liam followed them through the doorway in a state of quiet psychological collapse. He had questions. Several hundred questions. Unfortunately, Grandma moved directly into birthday host mode, which meant Liam had no chance to ask any of them. The farmhouse smelled exactly as it always had: cinnamon, coffee, furniture polish, and whatever Grandma had been cooking since approximately sunrise. Family photographs crowded the hallway walls. Liam spotted himself at 7 with missing front teeth, at 12 wearing an unfortunate bowl haircut, and at 18 pretending not to cry before leaving for college. Adrian slowed beside that photograph. "Do not," Liam whispered. "I have not said anything. Your face said something. My face thinks you were adorable. Your face is banned from this house." Adrian smiled. Grandma called from the dining room. "Liam, stop whispering and bring Adrian in here." Liam froze again. Adrian leaned closer. "She definitely knows my name." "Thank you, detective." Lunch somehow made everything worse. Grandma had prepared enough food for 12 people despite there being only 3 of them, and she had apparently also prepared an interrogation disguised as casual conversation. "How long have you two known each other?" she asked while cutting slices of roast chicken. "About a year," Adrian answered. 8 months, Liam said simultaneously. Silence. Adrian looked at Liam. Liam looked at Adrian. Grandma continued, cutting the chicken. "Interesting." Liam wanted the dining room floor to develop a trapdoor. Then came the coffee. Grandma walked into the kitchen and returned carrying 3 mugs. She placed Liam's in front of him, black with 1 spoonful of sugar. Then she placed Adrian's down. "Oat milk, no sugar." Adrian blinked. "That is exactly how I drink it." Liam slowly turned toward Grandma. "How did you know that?" She sat down. "Lucky guess." "You do not make lucky guesses. You make informed accusations." Grandma took a calm sip. Adrian hid a smile behind his mug. 10 minutes later, Liam noticed Grandma staring at his sweatshirt. "What?" he asked. "Nothing." "Grandma, I was wondering when you started buying clothes from Northwestern." Liam looked down. Gray sweatshirt. Purple lettering. Adrian's sweatshirt. He had grabbed it from the apartment couch that morning without thinking. Adrian studied the ceiling with suspicious concentration. "I like their football team," Liam said. Grandma raised 1 eyebrow. "You went to Michigan. People can grow." Apparently into other people's clothing. Adrian coughed into his coffee. Liam kicked his shoe beneath the table and accidentally hit the chair instead. By dessert, Liam was convinced Grandma had developed supernatural abilities. She knew about the concert in Chicago. She knew Liam had suddenly started cooking actual dinners instead of surviving on frozen pizza. She even mentioned that he sounded happier during their Sunday phone calls. None of it was proof. Somehow, all of it felt like proof. Adrian, meanwhile, seemed completely entertained by Liam's slow unraveling. Their knees touched beneath the table. Liam immediately pulled his away, then hated the empty space afterward. Later, while they washed dishes, Adrian quietly fixed Liam's crooked collar. Liam glanced toward the hallway before allowing himself to smile. Grandma appeared carrying an empty pie plate. Liam jumped so noticeably that Adrian nearly laughed. She looked between them, said nothing, and handed Liam the plate. By 10 o'clock, Grandma stretched, announced that 73-year-old women had better things to do than watch young men pretend they were not exhausted, and headed upstairs. Liam waited until her bedroom door closed. Then he counted to 30. Adrian leaned against the kitchen counter. "Are you seriously counting?" "I am making sure she is asleep." "Your grandmother is 73, not a bear." Liam finally exhaled and turned toward him. For the first time all day, they were alone. Adrian's smile faded. "Liam," he said quietly, "can I ask you something?" Something in his voice made Liam's stomach tighten. Adrian looked directly at him. "Are you ashamed of me?" The question landed softly, which somehow made it hurt more. Liam stared at Adrian across the kitchen, suddenly fascinated by everything except the man waiting for his answer. The old refrigerator hummed behind him. Somewhere upstairs, a floorboard gave a quiet creak. The clock above the pantry seemed offensively loud. "No," Liam said. "Too fast." Adrian nodded once. "Okay." "No, not okay like that. I mean, no. Absolutely not. I am not ashamed of you." "Then what are you afraid of?" Liam opened his mouth and discovered his brain had apparently left the building. This was ridiculous. He could give presentations to 30 people at work without sweating. He had once argued with an airline representative for 45 minutes over a canceled flight. Yet one gentle question from Adrian Bennett had reduced him to a malfunctioning appliance. It is complicated. Adrian gave him a tired smile. That usually means yes with extra steps. That is not fair. Neither is pretending I am just some guy from work every time your family comes up. The words were not angry. That was worse. Adrian picked up a dish towel and folded it carefully, giving his hand something to do. I can handle your grandmother not knowing. I can handle waiting. What I cannot figure out is whether you are waiting for the right moment or waiting until this becomes easier to hide. Liam swallowed. There it was. The thing he had spent 6 months carefully stepping around. You think I am hiding you. You moved away from me when our sleeves touched on the porch. Liam remembered it instantly. Half an inch. Such a tiny distance. It felt enormous now. Adrian, you checked the hallway when I fixed your collar. I know. You pulled your knee away from mine under the table. I know. Adrian looked at him then, and Liam wished he would stop being so calm because anger would have been easier. Anger could be argued with. Hurt just sat there and asked to be acknowledged. I should probably go upstairs, Adrian said. No. Adrian paused. Liam crossed the kitchen before fear could file the necessary paperwork. Please do not walk away thinking that. Thinking what? That I do not want people to know you matter to me. Adrian searched his face. Then help me understand. Liam looked toward the dark hallway. He could picture Grandma Rose upstairs, the woman who had patched every scraped knee, attended every school play, mailed him $20 inside birthday cards long after he had a salary. Losing her love felt impossible. Watching that love change shape felt terrifying. This house has always been the place where nothing changes, Liam whispered. My parents divorced. I came here. College went badly. I came here. Bad jobs, bad dates, bad everything. I came here. Grandma always looked at me exactly the same. I know this sounds stupid, but what if I tell her everything and she does not anymore? Adrian's expression softened. That does not sound stupid. It feels stupid. Fear usually does when you say it out loud. Liam laughed once, quietly. That was annoyingly wise. I have layers. Mostly annoying ones. Adrian smiled, but then stepped back. You still do not have to prove anything tonight. He turned toward the hallway. Liam watched him take one step. Then another. Something inside Liam tightened. 6 months of quiet dinners. 6 months of private jokes. 6 months of Adrian reaching for his hand whenever nobody was watching. Liam was tired of nobody watching. Adrian. Adrian turned. Liam caught his hand. For 1 second, neither moved. Then Liam stepped closer and kissed him. It was brief, gentle, almost nervous, but Adrian went completely still with surprise. Liam pulled back just enough to breathe. I am scared, he whispered. I know, but I am not ashamed of you. Adrian's fingers closed around his. I know that now. Liam smiled, relief warming his chest, and kissed him again. Then came a click. The kitchen flooded with light. Liam froze. Adrian froze. Slowly, impossibly slowly, Liam turned toward the doorway. Grandma Rose stood beside the light switch in her pale blue robe, holding an empty water glass. Her eyes moved from Liam to Adrian, then down to their joined hands. Liam's heart seemed to stop entirely. Grandma Rose had seen everything. Liam let go of Adrian's hand so quickly that the movement answered every question he had spent the last 10 minutes trying to explain. Grandma. Brilliant opening. Truly historic. Somewhere, generations of Millers were probably applauding his command of language. Grandma Rose remained beside the light switch, her empty glass in one hand, her expression unreadable. Adrian stood perfectly still. Liam could hear the refrigerator humming again, the clock ticking again, every tiny household sound suddenly magnified by panic. I can explain, Liam said. Grandma looked at him. Can you? Apparently not. Liam's mind produced 17 possible explanations and rejected all of them immediately. Adrian was helping him check for something on his face. Their mouths had accidentally occupied the same coordinates. This was a new Midwestern greeting Grandma had somehow missed. Every option was worse than silence. We were just. Liam stopped. Adrian glanced sideways at him. Liam. I know. Do you? Not currently. Grandma's gaze moved between them. Liam waited for anger. A question. A disappointed sigh. Anything. Instead, she walked to the sink, filled her glass with water, and took a slow drink. Liam's anxiety climbed another 10 floors. Grandma, please say something. She set the glass down. It is late. That was it. 3 words. Somehow they were more terrifying than a speech. Yes, Liam said carefully. Very late. Extremely late, actually. Practically tomorrow. Adrian closed his eyes for half a second. Grandma ignored the comment. She picked up her glass and headed toward the hallway. At the doorway, she stopped. Liam's entire body tightened. She looked back at him, then at Adrian. Good night, boys. Good night, Adrian replied. Softly, Liam managed something that sounded vaguely similar. Grandma disappeared upstairs. Her bedroom door closed a minute later. Liam stared at the empty hallway. That was bad. Adrian leaned against the counter. She said good night. Exactly. Most people consider that polite. You do not understand Grandma Rose. She has opinions about everything. She once gave me a 15-minute lecture because I bought generic maple syrup. Silence is not normal. Maybe she needs time. Time for what? To decide whether I am still invited to Thanksgiving. Adrian's expression changed. Do not do that. Do what? Turn one quiet reaction into the worst possible ending. Liam began pacing across the kitchen. 6 steps to the refrigerator. Turn. 6 steps back. She knew your name. She knew your coffee order. She knew about Chicago. Maybe she suspected something, but suspecting and actually seeing are different things. Liam, what if she is disappointed? Then we deal with it. The word should have comforted him. Instead, fear made him stupid. You do not have to deal with anything. Adrian went still. Liam heard the sentence only after it escaped. That came out wrong. Did it? I mean, this is my family. I know. So maybe tomorrow you should leave early. Adrian stared at him. The hurt arrived quietly, the same way it had earlier. You want me to leave? I want to keep this from getting worse. For you or for us? Liam had no answer fast enough. Adrian nodded as if the silence provided one. I am going upstairs. Adrian, wait. You are scared. I understand that. But every time you get scared, you push me 3 feet farther away and call it protection. He walked out before Liam could find the right words. Liam remained in the kitchen alone, staring at the place where Adrian had been. Fantastic. In less than 5 minutes, he had managed to disappoint his grandmother, hurt his boyfriend, and develop a personal grudge against kitchen lighting. He switched off the light and headed upstairs, but halfway down the hall, he heard Grandma's voice below. Liam stopped. Her bedroom door was open. She was not inside. He moved quietly toward the staircase. A thin strip of warm light stretched across the floor from the living room. Grandma was speaking on the phone. Yes, she said softly. Liam held his breath. A pause followed. Then Grandma said, tomorrow morning. I think it is time everyone knew. Liam did not sleep so much as negotiate unsuccessfully with consciousness until sunrise. Every time he closed his eyes, he heard Grandma Rose saying the same words. Tomorrow morning. Time everyone knew. By 7, he had imagined 12 family group chats, 3 emergency phone calls, and 1 Thanksgiving dinner where nobody made eye contact over the mashed potatoes. At 7:15, a car door slammed outside. Liam sat upright. Another followed. Then another. No, he whispered. He crossed to the window and pulled the curtain aside. His mother's silver SUV was parked beside Grandma's mailbox. Behind it sat Aunt Linda's blue sedan and Uncle Robert's pickup truck. Liam's stomach dropped. She actually did it. Across the hall, Adrian's door opened. Adrian appeared fully dressed, overnight bag over one shoulder. His face was calm, but the distance from last night remained between them. There are people downstairs, Adrian said. My family. I figured that out when someone yelled about parking behind the hydrangeas. Liam looked at the bag. You are leaving. Adrian's eyes met his. You told me to. The sentence landed exactly where Liam deserved it. Before he could answer, Grandma called from downstairs. Breakfast is getting cold. Liam almost laughed. Of course. His life was collapsing, and Grandma Rose was worried about eggs. They descended together, but not touching. The dining room was full. Liam's mother sat beside Aunt Linda. Uncle Robert stood near the coffee pot. 2 cousins had squeezed onto the old window bench. Everyone looked up when Liam entered with Adrian. Silence spread across the room. Liam felt suddenly 12 years old again. Except this time, there was no broken lamp to confess to. His mother smiled uncertainly. Morning, honey. Grandma. Rose was placing biscuits into a basket as if she had not assembled half the Miller family before 8 in the morning. Sit down. Liam remained standing. You told them. Grandma looked at him. Yes. Adrian shifted beside him. Liam's chest tightened. You had no right. His mother started to speak, but Grandma lifted one hand. Let him finish. That somehow made Liam angrier. I trusted you. I brought Adrian here because this place was supposed to be safe, and you saw one thing you were not supposed to see, then immediately called everybody? Liam, Adrian said quietly. No. I spent all night terrified that she was disappointed in me, and apparently I should have been worried about becoming breakfast conversation. Grandma's face softened, but Liam was too hurt to stop. Was this necessary? Did everybody need to come inspect me? Nobody is here to inspect you. Then why are they here? Grandma did not answer immediately. Instead, she walked toward the old china cabinet in the corner. Liam had seen that cabinet his entire life. Holiday plates on top. Crystal glasses nobody was allowed to touch. Old photographs and forgotten things hidden underneath. Grandma opened the lowest drawer and removed a small wooden box, dark with age. She carried it to the table and placed it beside the biscuits. Because, she said, this family has already made one terrible mistake with someone we loved. The room changed. Uncle Robert looked down. Liam's mother went very still. Even Aunt Linda stopped touching her coffee. Liam stared at them. What are you talking about? Grandma rested both hands on the box. For the first time that morning, she looked nervous. Not angry. Not disappointed. Nervous. There is something about this family you were never told. Liam glanced at Adrian. Adrian had not moved away, despite the bag still hanging from his shoulder. Grandma opened the box. Inside were old letters tied with faded blue ribbon, several photographs with curled white edges, and a dried flower pressed beneath a yellowed envelope. Grandma picked up the first photograph and held it carefully. Two young men stood beside a lake, smiling into the summer sun. One of them looked strangely familiar. Liam leaned closer. Same narrow nose. Same green eyes Grandma had. Who was that? He asked. Grandma traced the edge of the photograph with her thumb. My older brother, Thomas. Liam looked at the second man beside him. Their shoulders touched. Their hands were almost hidden between them. Almost. And him. Grandma's voice became quieter. His name was William. She looked directly at Liam. And Thomas loved him. For several seconds, nobody moved. Liam stared at the photograph as if the two young men might explain everything themselves. Thomas had Grandma Rose's eyes, unmistakably so, but there was something else in his expression, something open and unguarded. William stood close beside him, smiling toward Thomas instead of the camera. I never knew you had a brother, Liam said. Grandma lowered herself into a chair. That was part of the mistake. Her fingers remained on the photograph. Thomas was 8 years older than me. He was funny, stubborn, and completely incapable of making pancakes without filling the kitchen with smoke. When I was 16, he brought William home for Sunday dinner. A faint smile touched her face. He introduced him as a friend. Everyone believed that because everyone wanted to believe it. Liam glanced around the table. His mother was watching Grandma carefully. Uncle Robert had taken a seat. Adrian remained beside Liam, silent, giving him space. Grandma untied the faded ribbon around the letters. This was a different time. People did not talk openly about two men loving each other, especially in our family. Your great-grandparents cared very much about what neighbors thought, what church friends thought, what everyone thought. She paused. Thomas eventually told them the truth. Liam's throat tightened. What happened? Grandma looked down. They told him William was no longer welcome here. The room seemed smaller. Even the morning sunlight across the table felt strangely still. Thomas was told he could stay if he stopped seeing him. Everyone expected him to choose the family. Did he? Liam asked. Grandma shook her head. He chose William. Something in Liam's chest loosened and hurt at the same time. Grandma picked up another photograph. Thomas and William stood outside a small apartment building, older now, holding grocery bags and laughing. They moved to Chicago. Thomas called me several times. I wanted to answer. Sometimes I did. But I was young, frightened, and still living under my parents' roof. I kept telling myself that staying quiet was not the same as choosing against him. She looked at Liam. It was. No one interrupted. Grandma's voice remained steady, but her thumb moved slowly across the photograph's worn edge. Years passed. Our parents softened eventually, but pride is a foolish thing. By the time people were ready to say what should have been said from the beginning, too much time had been lost. Liam looked at the letters. Did you see him again? Yes. Much later. Thomas forgave me before I had learned how to forgive myself. Grandma gave a small, sad smile. William made terrible coffee. Thomas still made terrible pancakes. Some things survived. Liam almost smiled. Almost. Then he remembered the cars outside, the crowded table, the phone call. So you called everyone here because of Thomas? Because of what happened last night. Liam stiffened. Grandma continued before he could respond. When I saw you and Adrian in that kitchen, I did not feel disappointed. I felt ashamed. Liam blinked. Ashamed? Of myself. Because the first thing I saw on your face was fear. Her eyes softened. Not fear of Adrian. Fear of me. The words found the exact place Liam had spent years protecting. Grandma reached across the table but stopped before touching his hand, allowing him to choose the distance. I remembered Thomas standing in this same house, waiting for his family to decide whether loving someone had changed his place in it. Liam looked at Adrian. Adrian's overnight bag was still over his shoulder. That detail suddenly felt unbearable. Grandma drew a slow breath. I called everyone because I refused to watch this family repeat that silence. Liam's mother quietly wiped at her eyes. Aunt Linda stared at the old photographs. Grandma looked around the table, then back at Liam. But I also made a decision about your life before asking whether it was mine to make. Liam said nothing. I wanted to protect you so quickly that I forgot something important. Grandma's voice softened. Being accepted does not mean losing the right to tell your own story. Liam had imagined this moment in 100 different ways, and somehow none of them included Grandma Rose apologizing while a basket of biscuits went cold between them. He looked around the table. His mother, Aunt Linda, Uncle Robert, his cousins, Adrian. Every face he had spent years worrying about was suddenly looking back at him. And the strange thing was that nobody looked angry. Nobody looked disgusted. Mostly, they looked uncomfortable in the very specific way people looked when they realized something important had been happening right beside them, and they had completely missed it. Grandma folded her hands. Liam, I am sorry. He swallowed. I know why you did it. That does not make it right. No. The word came out more firmly than he expected. Grandma nodded. She accepted it without defending herself, and that made Liam brave enough to continue. You scared me. I know. I heard you on the phone last night. I thought you were telling everyone because you were embarrassed. Grandma's expression crumpled slightly. Oh, sweetheart. Liam shook his head. Please do not make me feel better yet. I need to say this. Grandma immediately went quiet. Liam looked toward Adrian. The overnight bag still hung from Adrian's shoulder like a physical reminder of what Liam had done when fear took over. I spent all night thinking I had lost something, Liam said. This house. You. The way everybody sees me. And then I came downstairs and saw all those cars, and it felt like my worst nightmare had scheduled itself for breakfast. One of his cousins made a tiny sound that might have been a laugh before covering it with a cough. Even Liam smiled for half a second. Grandma did too. The tension loosened, just enough to breathe. Then Grandma turned toward the rest of the family. Since I brought everyone here, I am going to make one thing very clear. Liam owes nobody an explanation. Adrian owes nobody an explanation. If anyone believes either of them deserves less respect in this family, you may leave my house. Silence followed. Uncle Robert looked almost offended. Rose, nobody is leaving. Aunt Linda nodded. Definitely not. Before breakfast, Liam's mother gave her a look. What? The biscuits are right there. A small laugh moved around the table, awkward but genuine. Liam felt something inside him shift. Not disappear. Fear did not vanish that neatly. It simply became less powerful when nobody fed it. His mother stood and walked toward him, stopping a few feet away. I wish you had felt safe telling me, she said. Liam stared at the floor. I did not know how. Then I should have made it easier. She glanced at Adrian. And I am guessing you are the reason my son suddenly learned how to cook vegetables. Adrian finally smiled. I take partial responsibility. Traitor, Liam muttered. His mother laughed. For one brief second, everything felt almost normal. Then Liam looked at Grandma again. There is still something I am angry about. You should be. You decided everyone needed to know before asking me. Yes. Even if you were trying to protect me. Yes. Grandma reached toward him, then stopped exactly as she had before. I cannot undo that. I can only apologize and promise that I will never make that choice for you again. Liam stared at her waiting hand. Slowly, he placed his own into it. Grandma squeezed gently. Thank you, he whispered. Then he turned toward Adrian. Adrian had been silent through all of it. No rescuing. No speaking for him. Just waiting. Liam took one step closer. I am sorry about last night. Adrian's eyes softened. I know. I told you to leave because I was scared. I know that too. Liam glanced at the overnight bag. Are you still leaving? Adrian looked around the room, then back at him. That depends. On what? Adrian's mouth curved into the smallest smile. Whether I am still your extremely handsome coworker. The room went quiet again. This time, the silence did not feel frightening. Liam realized everyone was waiting, but nobody was pushing. Grandma had given the choice back to him. Adrian had given the choice back to him. All Liam had to do was decide what he wanted to do with it. Liam looked at Adrian and realized there were moments when courage did not feel like courage at all. Sometimes it felt like standing in your grandmother's dining room before 8 in the morning with messy hair, cold coffee, 6 relatives watching you, and absolutely no idea what to do with your hands. His first instinct was to make a joke. His second was to run upstairs and remain there until everyone forgot he existed. Neither option seemed particularly mature. So Liam did something much harder. He stayed. No, he said. Adrian raised an eyebrow. No. You are definitely not my extremely handsome coworker. Adrian's mouth twitched. I appreciate the extremely handsome part surviving. Liam laughed nervously, then looked around the room. His mother was waiting. Aunt Linda was pretending not to be waiting while buttering the same biscuit for an unreasonable amount of time. Uncle Robert had suddenly developed intense interest in his coffee. Grandma Rose simply watched Liam with quiet patience. Nobody moved. Nobody answered for him. The choice was entirely his. Liam drew a slow breath. My name is Liam Miller, he said, immediately feeling ridiculous. We know, one cousin said. Aunt Linda whispered. Let him have his moment. Liam covered his face for 1 second. This family is impossible. Also established, Uncle Robert said. A few people laughed, and somehow that helped. Liam lowered his hands and turned toward Adrian. And Adrian Bennett is my boyfriend. There. The sentence existed now. It was outside his head, outside their apartment, outside every private dinner and quiet weekend they had protected for 6 months. Liam waited for the world to change. Nothing exploded. The refrigerator continued humming. Morning sunlight continued falling across Grandma's old hardwood floor. Aunt Linda continued destroying an innocent biscuit with butter. Adrian just stared at him, his blue eyes suddenly brighter. Liam reached for his hand. This time, he did not check the hallway first. He did not glance toward the windows. He did not calculate who might be watching. His fingers simply found Adrian's, and Adrian held on. Boyfriend, Adrian repeated softly. Liam looked at him. Do not make it weird. I am enjoying the promotion. From coworker? From extremely handsome coworker. Liam rolled his eyes, but he could not. Stop smiling. His mother crossed the room and wrapped both of them in a quick hug before Liam could prepare himself. Welcome to the family chaos, Adrian. Adrian laughed. I have been here less than 24 hours, and there has already been a secret family meeting. That is actually below average, Uncle Robert said. Grandma Rose was wiping her eyes with the corner of a napkin. Liam noticed and pointed at her. No crying. You started this. I am 73. I will cry whenever I please. Fair. She stood and walked toward them. For one heartbeat, Liam remembered the kitchen lights switching on, the fear rushing through him, his hand releasing Adrian's. Grandma looked down at their joined hands now. Then she looked at Liam. Better? She asked. Liam considered the question. Was everything suddenly easy? No. He still had people to tell. Conversations to have. Years of instincts that would not disappear before breakfast. But Adrian's hand was warm in his, and nobody was asking him to let go. Better, Liam said. Grandma nodded. Then she turned to Adrian. Now, about Chicago. Liam groaned. Grandma. Adrian immediately brightened. What would you like to know? Nothing, Liam said. She would like to know nothing. Grandma ignored him. Did he really tell me he went to that concert alone while you were standing beside him in the photograph? Adrian smiled. Would you like the full story? Adrian Bennett, I am warning you. Full story, Grandma decided. Everyone began talking at once. Liam stood in the middle of the noise, embarrassed, exposed, and somehow lighter than he had felt in years. Adrian squeezed his hand. Liam squeezed back. And for the first time, being seen did not feel like losing something. It felt like finally arriving. 3 weeks later, Liam stood on Grandma Rose's front porch holding a blueberry pie and experiencing a completely different kind of panic. She already made dessert, did she not? Adrian asked beside him. Probably 3 desserts. Then why did we bring a pie? Because showing up at Grandma's house empty-handed is how you get removed from the will. Adrian nodded seriously. Important cultural information. You should have included that in my orientation. Liam looked at him and smiled. 3 weeks. 3 weeks since the breakfast that had rearranged his understanding of family, fear, and apparently the appropriate amount of butter for one biscuit. Not everything had magically become simple. Liam had called his mother twice afterward, both conversations awkward and warm in equal measure. Aunt Linda had started texting Adrian recipes. Uncle Robert had invited both of them to a baseball game in August. One cousin had added Adrian to the family group chat without warning, which Adrian considered acceptance and Liam considered a human rights violation. But the strangest change was how ordinary everything had become. Adrian was still Adrian. Liam was still Liam. They still argued about dishwasher placement and whether pineapple belonged on pizza. The world had not transformed. Liam had simply stopped spending so much energy trying to disappear inside it. Before he could knock, the front door opened. Grandma Rose looked at the pie, then at Liam. I made peach cobbler. Liam handed her the pie. I knew it. She turned to Adrian. Come in. Your coffee is ready. He gets a welcome, and I get criticized? Liam asked. He brought flowers. Liam looked down. Adrian was holding a small bouquet behind his back. Traitor. Adrian smiled. Planning. Dinner was loud, comfortable, and wonderfully uneventful. Adrian sat beside Liam instead of across from him. Their knees touched beneath the table, and this time Liam did not move away. Grandma noticed. Of course she noticed. She noticed everything. She simply smiled into her coffee. After dinner, Liam wandered into the hallway while Adrian helped Grandma pack leftovers. A new photograph sat on the narrow table beneath the mirror. Liam stopped. It had been taken that morning 3 weeks earlier, after everyone had eaten and the panic had finally dissolved into laughter. Liam and Adrian stood together on the porch, shoulders touching, both smiling at something outside the frame. Beside it was the old photograph of Thomas and William by the lake. Liam stared at the 2 pictures for a long moment. Different decades, different lives, yet somehow, they seemed to be having a conversation across time. Grandma appeared beside him. Your mother sent me that one. Liam nodded toward Thomas and William. You moved their picture out here. It should have been out here years ago. Liam slipped an arm around her shoulders. I love you. Grandma leaned against him. I love you too. Even when you bring unnecessary pie. Later, the summer evening had cooled to about 70 degrees when Liam and Adrian stepped onto the porch to leave. Fireflies flickered above the lawn. Adrian carried 2 containers of leftovers because Grandma apparently believed men in their 20s would starve without supervision. Your family is exhausting, Adrian said. You love them. Unfortunately. Liam smiled. Adrian reached for his hand. No hesitation. No quick glance toward the windows. Just fingers meeting fingers. At the bottom of the porch steps, Adrian stopped. What? Liam asked. Nothing. That is suspicious. I was just thinking. Even more suspicious. Adrian laughed, leaned closer, and gave Liam a brief, gentle kiss. For half a second, Liam forgot everything except the warmth of Adrian's hand and the quiet summer air. Then the front door opened behind them. Liam stiffened automatically. His body remembered before his mind could catch up. He turned. Grandma Rose stood in the doorway holding a foil-covered dish. She looked at Liam, then Adrian, then their joined hands. Liam waited. Grandma sighed. Oh, relax. I came out here to give Adrian the cobbler. Adrian burst out laughing. Liam stared at her. Why Adrian? Because he returns my containers. I return containers. Eventually. She handed the dish to Adrian. Drive safely. We will, Adrian promised. Grandma disappeared inside. The door closed. Liam looked at Adrian, who was still laughing. Do not encourage her. I am her favorite now. You have known her for 3 weeks. Some people recognize quality quickly. Liam shook his head and started toward the car. Adrian followed, still holding his hand. Halfway down the walkway, Liam realized something and stopped. The kitchen light was glowing through the window behind them. Once, being seen in that light had terrified him. Tonight, Grandma knew exactly who was walking beside him. So did his mother. So did the rest of the family. Liam looked at Adrian and smiled. He did not let go.